All right, hey guys, what is up? This is Ben from Run Slow to Run Fast. I'm excited today to bring you my first shoe review. Just picked up a pair of Saucony Triumph 17s. I've taken them out and put about 25 miles on these so far and wanted to give a review of them. They're a really good shoe and really excited to talk about them today. So these were released a few months ago, I believe back in November is when they were released. It's a max cushion shoe, really good shoe for your long runs, things like that. A lot of updates that came with this shoe this year that I think a lot of people are going to like a lot. I certainly did in my runs that I've had in it thus far. Just to give you some of the stats on the shoe. So one of the main kind of updates for this year is that they are now using a new TPU foam rubber for the sole. They're calling it PWWRUN Plus. So a little bit different than some of the other models that they've introduced, different than the Kinvara. For example, I think that one's just the PWWRUN, not the PWWRUN Plus, which is in the Triumph 17. The heel on this is 33.5 millimeters. The forefoot is, I believe, 25.5. So that gives it an 8 millimeter drop. You can see you've got some rubber protection on the bottom here of the shoe. This is a crystal rubber, fairly thick, so it is going to be durable. It's going to be good for putting a lot of miles on it. Probably you'll get 400 or 500 miles out of the shoe is my guess. Pretty good shoe in that regard. The upper is an engineered mesh, quite comfortable, quite soft, really forgiving, but still has a secure kind of lockdown feel. So really good in that light. One of the main things that you'll notice about the shoe the first time that you step in it or look at it is that it has a really cushioned heel. The heel cup is very interesting. It's almost like a memory foam. I believe Saucony calls it FormFit, but really padded heel, but still you have some structure there. So on your long runs, you're not going to be kind of slopping around like you may with a looser fit. One of the things that I noticed about the shoe almost right away is that the one downside that I saw to this shoe is that it is a little sloppy in the heel, but you do have an extra eyelet for the shoelaces there. So if you wanted to get more of a lockdown, you can certainly do that. For me, on some of my slower days, I didn't really feel like I needed that extra lockdown in the heel. But let's say you wanted to pick up the pace, or you have a longer run with a few workout miles in it, you may want to utilize that to help lock down the heel a little bit as you pick up the pace. The tongue as well, you can see super cushioned. Really all around the shoe is just super cushioned, very pillowy feel. One of the great things I didn't mention before about the new rubber is that it's supposed to be 28% lighter, so a lot lighter foam. However, you still do get the weight comes down in this year's model of the Triumph, but it's still a fairly heavy shoe. So I believe, let me see here, 10.7 ounces in a men's size 9. I wear a size 11, so a fairly large shoe in comparison to the standard size 9. So definitely felt the weight on it. It still feels like a long run shoe, but very comfortable. One of the great things about this new PWWRUN Plus in particular is that it is very springy. Saucony says it has 2 times more flex than their previous foam that they used for the sole. So, and I really felt that on my runs. I noticed that my pace was picking up just naturally because there is so much pop in the forefoot. So really felt that in the foam, and really love it for that reason. You'll even notice it just by squeezing on the foam. It's very nice. It kind of pops right back when you're feeling the foam there. Let's see, what else did I miss? One of the things that I thought, and just some feedback for Saucony on the shoe itself. I think if you really wanted to make this shoe a home run, and maybe they'll do that in some further iterations of this shoe, is if you wanted to make a daily trainer, I don't think it would be hard from this shoe. If we lost a little bit of weight in the upper on this, and kind of cut down on some of this foam around the heel and the tongue, You know, you could cut a little bit of weight there. And then this rubber, I assume that this is a heavier part of the shoe is this rubber here. Either do a thinner rubber or even do away with it altogether and make some type of coating on the bottom that that was lightweight but still durable. I think if you did those things, you'd probably lose a couple ounces in the shoe and it would be a home run, because this foam is really where it's at. The foam is amazing, and you know, I look forward to buying more of these types of shoes that have this foam, because really, you know, for the shoe, this is where the money's at. Just to give you an idea of what I've done in the shoe, my first one was a 13-mile run in the shoe. No hot spots, no issues with anything you know, bothering me on the shoe. Again, very comfortable, very pillowy soft. You know, on not only the bottom of the shoe but around the foot as well, just because of all that padding that you have throughout. I've also done the 7 and a 5-mile run. I've even picked it up with some of the tempo paces, just to see, you know, how it does on those. And that's where you really feel the springiness of the shoe, and that pop in that foam is when you start to pick up the pace a little bit. But again, you know, you probably want to lock it down if you're going to, you know, do a faster workout in this shoe. But you know, Saucony knows that this is really not the intention of the shoe. The shoe is meant for longer, slower miles. It's going to be your long run shoe. They've got other shoes that are more intended for the purpose of picking up the pace and doing tempo workouts and those type of things. So overall, love the shoe. I did try it on in the store before I bought it. I actually went through a couple of different pairs of shoes. Just in comparison, I was, you know, I didn't really want to fork out the $150 that the shoe cost, which to me is rather expensive, but you know, I felt in the end that this was worth the money, because it is such a fantastic shoe. Some of the other shoes that I tried on and have just comparing it to from my own personal experiences. I tried the Skechers Max Road Hyper. Did not like that shoe. Heard a lot of great reviews about it. I felt that the foam was very stiff, not very bouncy at all, and not very plush on my long runs. And then I also got hot spots and blisters on that shoe on my first run, so did not love that shoe. I compared it against you know, the 1080 V10, and then also the Hoka Bondi 6 in the store. So doing some, you know, short treadmill work on those shoes just to see how those felt. The Bondi felt pretty good to me. That's definitely a big, heavy shoe, typical Hoka with lots of stack height. So, you know, that one, you know, in some ways felt similar to this shoe to me. But again, this one felt a little more plush around the upper, and then also a little bit more springy with the foam on this one. And then I also tried it against the 1080 V10. I felt kind of similar on that one, where the foam was just not very forgiving, not very plush. The ride wasn't as smooth as I found in this the Saucony. So so far, really pleased with the shoe. I'm happy to you know, have it and to put some more miles on it. This will be my main training shoe for most of my runs. I do, you know, 80% of my runs or so are the long, slow distance type runs. Not necessarily the long 20-mile runs that I'll typically do on my Saturdays, but you know, kind of the slower, easier pace. But again, you know, even when I picked up the pace, I felt like the shoe did a good job. So on some of my workouts, I'll be happy with this shoe, but probably will pick up a shoe for some of my speed workouts. So hope you enjoyed the review. If you did, be sure to like this video and subscribe for more. Again, this is Ben from Run Slow to Run Fast. You guys have a great day.